ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Respected dignitaries on the stage, the other ulama here, I, inshallah ta'ala, would like to first begin by thanking Allah Azza wa Jal لأن الحمد لله بنعمته تتم الصالحات وبعده الصلاة والسلام على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. In the next 5 minutes today, inshallah ta'ala, I'd like to highlight the importance of learning the English language in today's arena. This deen, this religion, as we all know, is the most beautiful religion, and there's no doubt about it. We all know it and we all believe in it, alhamdulillah. And unfortunately, while we believe in this particular religion called Islam, there are a lot of innocent, unfortunate human beings that have no idea about what Quran is, what Hadith is, what Islam is, why we are here, what is that we're going to do in the next life, does there exist a next life in the first place? There are quite a lot of us amongst us in the very country that we live in. There are quite a lot of us. I'm not even talking about Muslims. Of course, there are Muslims who also are, paralyzed because of these doubts, suspicions they have in their minds about the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal. And the reason we gathered here, not just today, inshallah ta'ala, we are going to continue to be here for the next 15 days, is only in order for us to learn the English language so we could go out in the public domain and present to the general public what Quran has to talk to them, because Al-Quran on many occasions not just addresses the Muslims. While you and I, the Huffaz, would know it, and the ulama would also approve of what I am saying, that while Quran on one hand talks about Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, there are many things where Allah Azza wa Jal commands us to do certain things as Muslims and asks us to refrain from certain other things as Muslims. At the same time, there are at least a dozen ayat in the Holy Quran that straight away talk to non-Muslims. Ya ayyuhan nas ittaqu rabbakum, Ya ayyuhan nas wakhshaw. And you open the Quran, Qul ya ayyuhan nas. Allah Azza wa Jal is directly telling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and through him Allah Azza wa Jal is talking to us, telling us believers that we have to go out in the public domain and tell the people that this is what the Quran has to say. Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Fatir, Surah Saba. You take Surah Al-Hajj. The very Surah Al-Hajj actually begins with Ya ayyuhan nas ittaqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahida. Surah Al-Nisa. So there are so many ayat in the Quran that directly try talking to non-Muslims, and what are we as Muslims doing about it? Nothing. So this is possibly why we thought we'll arrange a camp for about 15 days and try to understand the nuances of the English language. Look, if Zayd ibn Thabit radiyallahu ta'ala anhu could learn Hebrew in about 15 days or maybe less, what is it that stops us from learning English? Perhaps the inner self. If we could revive the inner self, كما قال فضيلة الشيخ, if we could go back to the Quran, if we could do those 8 things with the Quran that we are likely, we're supposed to do, we ought to do, if we could do that, that could form the base for us to easily, inshallah ta'ala, learn, master the English language. And there is this beautiful saying, while of course some people attribute this saying to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there is no authenticity about it. Of course, the saying is real good. Ulama ummati ka anbiya bani Israel. This is the job that we ulama, that you ulama have at our hands. We have to keep reviving. Look, this ummah is in doldrums, as we all know. And if only we could do what Allah Azza wa Jal expects us to do. Allah Azza wa Jal talks about it in Surah Muhammad, at the end of Surah Muhammad. Ha antum haula'i tud'auna litunfiqu fi sabilillah. Litunfiqu fi sabilillah does not necessarily merely mean you give out charity. You have skill, you have the art of speaking, you have the information about Islam, you are faqih, you know about Islam. It is incumbent upon you, it is imperative upon you. It is your duty then to go out and call people to the religion of Islam. And if we don't do that, who else? You know, there are quite a lot of people out there in the market who are not graduated ulama at all. And they are confusing the public. They are confusing the public. I'll give you one small instance before I end my talk. There's this so-called alim. I'm not going to name him. I have heard his lecture very recently. He quotes one ayah from Surah An-Nisa. لا يستوي القاعدون من المؤمنين غير أولي الضرر والمجاهدون في سبيل الله. In this particular ayah, while the ayah is big, Allah Azza wa Jal is talking about 2 kinds of people. Al-Qa'idun, Al-Mujahidun. Allah Azza wa Jal says, فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ الْمُجَاهِدِينَ عَلَى الْقَاعِدِينَ دَرَجَةً. Allah Azza wa Jal says that the Mujahideen have been given preference over those who stay behind. And this non-alim, so-called, alim himself, he hasn't studied under anyone. And he quotes this ayah and says that, he was actually addressing a gathering of women. And he tells these women, oh women, Allah Azza wa Jal is asking you to come out and serve the schools. This was not the paradigm in which the ayah was revealed. And this is just one example of many, many examples that you may want to hear. There was one college friend of mine during my college days about 20 years ago. There was one college friend of mine who actually thinks a Muslim family, a Muslim man, he was born in a Muslim family, his parents were born in a Muslim family, grandparents were born in a Muslim family, so lineage is Muslims. And he has a belief, this boy, this man, he's of course now 40 years, he has a belief that the way we are going to be resurrected by Allah Azza wa Jal on the day of judgment, the way we will be asked questions about what we did in this life, this Muslim guy feels that Christians will be resurrected by Jesus Christ. He believes that Hindus will be resurrected by Ganesha and those idols. And he feels that accordingly they will also have to be reckoned with. They will be given the reckoning. They will also have to give an account of them to Jesus Christ, to Ganesha, to this and that. And accordingly they will all be given the hellfire and the heavens. Is that what a Muslim has to believe in? No. So look at the level the Muslims have gone to. Look at the kind of levels the Muslims have sunk to. That's why we decided that we'll hold a camp of this kind and we'll try to give you training in English so that you are in a position, inshallah ta'ala, to go out, clear all misconceptions. Even if you don't do anything, if you can just conduct, like Fadilat al-Shaykh again mentioned, if one can absorb what Quran has to say about the conduct of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you don't even have to step out to do da'wah. Your body language will automatically continue giving da'wah. May Allah Azza wa Jal help us understand the importance of this program, and may Allah Azza wa Jal help us realize that it is through programs like these that we can reach out to masses and create a beautiful atmosphere of Islam, inshallah ta'ala. Wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
और मज़ीद वीडियोस को देखने के लिए आप हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। फजज़ाकुमुल्लाहु खैरन।
الدعوة نور وضاء تجلو ظلمات الحيران. منهج خير الناس جميعا لا يبلى عبر الأزمان. الدعوة نور وضاء تجلو ظلمات الحيران. منهج خير